Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to call a special Village of Addison public hearing to order. Purpose of the village public hearing is to discuss the budget for fiscal 23-24, ending April 30th, 2024. Could we please have roll call?
Trustees Del Rosario,
Here.
Hunley,
Here.
Klusny, Lynch,
Here.
Nasty,
Here.
O'Brien, and Mayor Veenstra.
Here. And would you please reference the public notice?
A public hearing will be held on the proposed Village of Addison budget for the 2023-2024 fiscal year ending April 30th, 2024. The public hearing will be held on Monday, April 17th, 2023 at 6:30 p.m. in the Addison Village Hall, 1 Friendship Plaza. All interested citizens attending the public hearing may provide written and oral comments and may ask questions regarding the entire budget for fiscal year 2023-2024. A copy of the entire proposed budget for the Village of Addison for the year ending April 30th, 2024 is available for public inspection in the village clerk's office prior to the public hearing. Notice for this public hearing was published in the Daily Herald on April 6th.
Thank you. The petitioner, Colleen, if you'd want to talk about the budget, then
Thank you, Mayor Veenstra. The budget continues to be a collaborative effort by the village manager, all the department heads, and the staff. Under the direction of the village board, the 2023-2024 budget continues to ensure the long-term financial health of the village's operating funds. The general fund proposed total expenditures are $49,334,422, and we are projecting a 48% fund balance as a percentage of expenditures. This is in compliance with our fund balance policy. The expenditures in the general fund are to maintain the general operations of the village. The water sewer fund proposed total expenditures are $25,104,400, and the budgeted revenues are based on current usage and trends. In total, the fiscal 23-24 proposed budget is $111,381,947. Of that total, approximately $77.5 million, or 70%, is for operations. $24.7 million, or 22%, is for capital projects. Approximately $4 million, or 4%, is for debt service, and approximately $4.9 million, or 4%, is for police pension. The budget expenditures for capital projects include approximately $7.6 million in the redevelopment fund for a water sewer separation project, which will be funded with monies from the American Rescue Plan. Approximately $5.9 million in the motor fuel tax fund, which includes the annual roads resurfacing program, several street maintenance projects, and additional funding allocated to our sidewalk program. In addition, approximately $1 million of this year's expenditures was funded with monies received from Rebuild Illinois Bond, and another $550 from grants received. Just under $4.1 million in the water sewer fund for water main replacement and final payment on the meter replacement program. And another $5.5 million in the public building fund to include a salt dome at our public works facility, renovations to the village hall, and various other improvements to village facilities. Of the remaining proposed capital projects is a Veterans Memorial to be constructed on the 2-acre parcel on the southwest corner of Lake Street and Addison Road. The village's current financial condition is stable, and this proposed budget will keep us in compliance with our fund balance policy. The full budget will be available on the village's website at www.addisonadvantage.org shortly after the beginning of the fiscal year. Are there any questions on this?
staff, board? Okay. Well, Colleen, I want to echo your comments. The collaborative work of staff, the department heads, your department, to put this together was tremendous. The board was very impressed with the presentations and the review that we had. And so congratulations to your team and great job.
Thank you, Mayor.
If there are no questions from the board or from the audience, there's no positive or negative testimony that I'm aware of. Is there a motion to close the public hearing?
So moved. Second.
Motion is second. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
The public hearing is adjourned.
Good evening, Addison. Let me turn my mic on so you can hear me. Good evening, Addison. Welcome to the combined meeting of committees, Monday, April 17th. The first item on the agenda is a roll call.
Trustees Del Rosario,
Here.
Lynch,
Here.
Nasty,
Here.
Co-Chairs Hunley,
Here.
Kluzny, O'Brien.
Item number 2, consideration to approve the minutes of the April 3rd, 2023 combined meeting of the committees.
So moved.
Second.
Item number 3, audience input regarding agenda items before the committee.
Excuse me, Mr. Chairman.
Sorry.
we need a vote.
Any comments on agenda item number 2? Any questions, concerns? All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion's consideration to approve the minutes. Item number 3, audience input regarding agenda items before the committee. No audience. Item 4, discussion of accounts payable. Earlier this evening, the Finance and Policy Committee reviewed these directives. Directive number 23-72 in the amount of $1,426,813.04. Directive 23-73 in the amount of $175,188.57. And Directive 23-74 in the amount of $785,263.86. There was one also correction. Directive number 23-62 was approved on February 21st, 23 for the amount of $840,544.88 and will now be reduced by 2,222 cents, making the new total $838,344.66.
Make the motion. Second.
Any questions, concerns? All those in favor?
Aye.
Stands approved. Item number 5, consideration to approve the fiscal year 2023-2024 budget of the Village of Addison.
Make the motion.
Second.
Colleen?
Thank you, Chairman Nasty. As noted in the public hearing, in total, the fiscal 23-24 fiscal budget proposed is $111,381,947. Of that total, 70% is for operations, 22% is for capital projects, 4% is for debt service, and the last 4% is for the police pension. The village's current financial condition is stable, and this proposed budget will keep us in compliance with our fund balance policy. The full budget will be available on our village website shortly after the beginning of the fiscal year. Previously submitted was the 23-24 budget summary, as well as the budget reconciliation, which included a spreadsheet of how we went from budget review in February to the final budget document presented for approval tonight. I am requesting your approval of the fiscal year 2023-24 proposed budget.
Thank you, Colleen. Again, I'd like to reiterate, great job by you and the staff for putting together a great fiscal policy, and great job that you guys did. Thank you very much. Any questions from the committee? All those in favor?
Aye.
Anyone against? Fiscal year budget is approved. Item number 6. Thank you, Colleen. Item number 6, consideration of payment number 5 to Hitchcock Design, Inc. of Naperville, Illinois, for the final design and engineering of Phase 5 of the Village Green Improvement Project, Veterans Monument, in the amount of $34,952.41. Funding in account 470.9947-4536.
Make the motion.
Second.
Don?
Thank you very much. This item is payment number 5 to Hitchcock Design Incorporated for final design and engineering of phase number 5 of the Village Green Improvement Project. We recommend your consideration.
Thank you, Don. That'll be a nice addition to the village, especially on that corner to extend the green. Thank you. Any questions from the committee? All those in favor?
Aye.
Anyone against? Payment to Hitchcock approved. Item number 7, consideration to accept bid number 23-2-3 for various vendors to supply fire hydrants, miscellaneous parts, and water distribution materials in the not-to-exceed amount of $55,700. Funding in account 500.5010-4211, account 500.5010-4299, and account 500.5010-4305.
Make a motion.
Second.
Rick?
Good evening. Thank you, Chairman Nasty. Each year, the Village of Addison goes out to bid for all of our water department parts, hydrants, valves, couplings, everything that they use throughout the year. So this bid is actually just for pricing. We had 5 vendors submit pricing for those items. We're recommending to award this as a split bid, so we've done this in the past. That's where we would award the bid to those lowest priced items per each vendor, as noted in the package that you have attached with your information. There is a budget cap of $55,700, so we will purchase these items as needed throughout the year to maintain our water system. We've had no issues with these vendors in the past, so we're recommending approval at this time for a split bid award.
Awesome. Thank you, Rick. I'm glad that it's a little extra work for us with the split bid, but it saves us money in the long run.
Absolutely.
Thank you. Any questions for the committee? All those in favor?
Aye.
Anyone against? All right, consideration number 7 approved. Item number 8, consideration for approval of a Ford F-550 cabin chassis, dump body, and plowing components from Henderson Products of Huntley, Illinois, in a total amount of $114,180, funding in account 640.9964-4347.
Make motion.
Second.
Rick?
Thank you again, Chairman Nasty. This item is a regular replacement. It's an item in our budget to replace a truck in our Electrical and Forestry Division. This would be purchasing a truck through Henderson to purchase a Ford F-550. As the board knows, in the past, we've had some difficulties. There's been there's been a lot of issues with obtaining through Sourcewell the vehicles. In this particular case, this proposal from Henderson, they were able to secure several trucks. So the truck purchase would be a direct purchase through Henderson. They'd be passing through that with no markup on their cost from Ford. And then the items for the plow and the dump body would be through Henderson, and that is through the national bid procurement through Sourcewell. So you can see that the combined total then for this item there is listed as $114,180. And then the existing truck then would be sent to public auction.
Perfect, thank you. I have no questions. Questions from the committee? All those in favor?
Aye.
Anyone against? Motion stands approved. Item number 9, consideration to approve payment number 10 to Core and Main LP of St. Louis, Missouri for the water meter AMI project in the amount of $321,495.57. Bid number 21-1-3, funding in account 500.5010-4519.
Make the motion.
Second.
Rick?
Thank you, Chairman Nasty. This payout for your consideration is for the ongoing meter changeout. Our contractor is moving quickly through town. This would be for all work completed through March 7th of 2023. We have received all waivers of lien and certified payroll. This amount is all for installation. They did 1,902 paired units from the last time that we had a payout. So we're asking approval then to pay the amount of $321,495.57 to Core and Main.
Thank you. Rick, roughly, we are at about halfway through the project, right?
Yeah, we're actually beyond that. So this payout probably is roughly up to about 60%, but again, this goes back about a month. We're closer to 70% now, working our way roughly from east to west through town. So the project's going very well, and hopefully in the next couple months can wrap it up.
Knock on wood.
Yes, yes.
Thank you, Rick. Any questions for the committee? All those in favor?
Aye.
Anyone against? Thank you, Rick. Resolution approved. Item number 10, consideration of a resolution approving an amended intergovernmental agreement between the Village of Addison and the Addison Fire Protection District for fleet maintenance services.
Make the motion.
Second.
Rick?
Yes, thank you, Chairman Nasty. Back in 2015, the village did a shared services agreement, an IGA, with the fire district to perform maintenance on their vehicles, all of their vehicles. That IGA back from 2015 has not been updated since that time, with the exception of a change in the unit pricing and the hourly labor. We had some discussions with the fire department over the last couple of months. The fire district has agreed to have an additional one-time payment to help offset some of our labor costs, and there's some other costs for specialized equipment, and our mechanics that have to work on that equipment also need specialized certifications to work on emergency vehicles. So in negotiations with them, we came up with a cost that would be an offset to an employee to work exclusively on the fire department equipment. You could see that there in the memo is an offset of $40,000, and then that would be paid annually with an annual increase of 3% each year. This amended IGA was drafted by our village attorney and approved by our attorney, as well as the Addison Fire District's attorney. In addition, then on April 5th, their board did accept and passed this amended IGA, so it's here for your approval and for signing, if you so wish, to then continue this IGA under this amended agreement with the fire district.
Thank you, Rick. It's not hard. It's hard to keep a secret of fleet services are very good here, and other governments want to use the services, so that's great.
Yes, the partnership has worked very well, and we've recently also partnered with with School District 4 as well. So these shared services, in the end, save all our taxpayer some money.
Perfect. Thank you, Rick. Any questions from the committee? All those in favor?
Aye.
Anyone against? All right, resolution stands approved.
Thank you.
Item number 11, consideration of a resolution approving the AIA agreement between the Village of Addison and Keeley Construction, Inc. for construction management services for the renovation and configuration of interiors of the Community Development Department suite.
Make the motion.
Second.
Mike?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. This item for your consideration is a resolution approving an agreement with Keeley Construction in the Village of Addison for construction management services for the remodeling of the Community Development Department in the not-to-exceed number of $1,480,500. Funding for this project will be coming from account number 440.9944-4405. As you know, our department has experienced water leaks and flooding over the years from broken frozen pipes. They've burst, they've caused damage to our interior finishes, our walls, our floors, and our ceilings. Even though over the years proper repairs and cleanup has been done, we feel that it's time to start moving forward with remodeling the department. The building's 23 years old now. Our workflows have changed quite a bit. We went to an electronic format, so our logistics of how we operate needs to be changed. So we figured this was the time to do that to be more efficient. We also didn't want to, with the number of times that it has flooded, we didn't want to potentially have mold problems that with the carpet. The carpet's never been replaced. It's been cleaned, but it's never been replaced. So we felt this was the time to do it. Keeley's a well-known family-run business. They've done a lot of work in our industrial park over the years, actually for decades. They've built a lot of new industrial buildings. They put additions on buildings, and they've also done quite a bit of interior office remodels. In your packet, you'll find a resolution approving the agreement. The standard AIA contract was reviewed by and approved by our village attorney. We have a breakdown of expected costs and a proposed staffing plan or a layout of the department. Barring no questions from the committee, staff's recommending your approval of this resolution in a not-to-exceed amount of $1,480,500.
If I remember correctly, Mike, your department, that area was one of the hardest hit when we had that burst pipe on Christmas Eve, or?
Yeah, we did have a lot of water damage down in our file areas, and that kind of creeped into our office areas as well. We had to remove drywall, ceiling finishes, carpeting. None of that's been replaced yet. At least the carpeting hasn't been replaced.
Awesome. I'm glad we're getting it done. Any questions from the committee? All those in favor?
Aye.
Anyone against? All right. Consideration stands approved.
We'll move on to the Building, Zoning, and Development Committee items. Item number 12 is consideration of an ordinance amending certain provisions of Chapter 27 of the Village Code regarding signs. Is there a motion?
Make the motion.
Motion is second. On discussion. Mike?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Staff's looking to make a few changes to the sign code with regard to the definition of a sign and the definition of attention-getting device. And we also want to update the penalty provisions or the fine provisions in the code, making them more consistent with the other chapters of the village code. We've seen a large influx of storefront window lighting. I don't know if anybody have seen that, especially at night. You see this in a lot of our retail districts where the perimeter of the windows and doors are illuminated with string lighting or rope lighting. In some cases, we've seen that lighting go out onto freestanding signs, and in some rare cases, we've seen the outlines of the building facades lit up as well. These are attention-getting devices. In fact, when I was looking at I was trying to get pricing for what this cost anyway to install the lighting. It obviously varies depending on how much you have it, but specifically I actually looked at Amazon under that, and it talks about the specifications for the lighting, but it also says, let's see, where did I have this here? It basically indicated that you can install these lights or LED lights around your storefront to attract customer attention and make your store more noticeable. So they're certainly attention-getting devices. Our attention-getting device definition only needs to be changed to add the storefront lighting. It's pretty clear, and this kind of falls within it, but it's not very clear. It could be subject to interpretation. So before we really go out and start enforcing this, we wanted to make sure the ordinance was tightened up a bit, so we didn't have any problems should we go out to the communities. A lot of these businesses we find that are on Lake Street, Addison Road, Rowling Road, Swift Road, and again located more in the business districts. We did want to make a change to the definition of a sign code. Really, it's a little ambiguous. We just added a couple more adjectives to clarify it, but nothing major. And then lastly, with regard to the penalty provisions, currently right now, and the sign code is an outdated code. The whole code at some point needs to be updated. But the current code, if you don't comply with the provisions of it, we do have to write a citation. We have to issue a fine. The fine requirements currently right now are not less than $50, no more than $500. All the other village codes that we enforce, the building code and the zoning code, have a minimum of $150 and a maximum of $1,000. So we're recommending those changes to be consistent and to make sure we can enforce those attention-getting devices. So unless there's any questions for the committee, or we're looking for your approval of the proposed changes.
Sam?
It will be worded in there that they will have to remove them or just shut them off?
They would need to be removed.
Okay, and then what if they want to put them back for holidays, Christmas or something? That's also not allowed.
Well, Christmas decorations they can provide, but this is more than a Christmas decoration. This is really something that's accentuating the business itself. It's really another sign, honestly, Sam. The entire storefront is illuminated, and that really doesn't meet the intent of the code, and that's why we wanted to clarify it.
No other questions? Then all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carried. Thanks, Mike.
Thank you.
Then we'll move on to Public Health, Safety, and Judicial Committee items. Item number 13 is consideration of an ordinance amending Chapter 3 of the Village Code to decrease the number of Class DD1 liquor licenses for RE Plan LLC doing business as Bailey's Place located at 1700 West Lake Street.
Make the motion.
Motion on second, on discussion. Joe?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. As indicated, Bailey's Place at 1700 West Lake Street notified us, the administrative department, on April 5th, just a few weeks ago here, saying that they're no longer in need of their DD1 classification. What is that DD1 classification? It's part of the Class D, which allows for this retail sale of packaged beer. It's their intent to no longer use it. Their Class D license will not be affected, so they'll still have a liquor license. And we're asking for your favorable approval tonight for that DD1 to be taken away. However, we are requesting the waiver of second reading as well.
Very well. I have no questions. Questions from the committee? Hearing none. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carried.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
Joe.
Thank you.
Item number 14 is consideration of an ordinance amending certain provisions of Chapter 13 of the Village Code regarding suspensions and revocations of license fines against licensees. Is there a motion?
Make the motion.
Motion second on discussion. Bill?
Thank you, Deputy Mayor Hunley. This particular ordinance, you probably already recognize that the mayor has the authority to suspend, revoke, and fine licensees within the Village of Addison after having offered them a hearing. So this is just going to specifically address the fine portion of this particular ordinance. We would like you to increase it. We would like you to increase it to $2,500 per violation, and each day in which the violation continues, it shall constitute a separate violation or $10,000 fine in aggregate. This would be consistent with other communities within the village. And of course, the fine would also be separate from any hearing that may be forwarded to the mayor.
Very good. I have no questions. Questions from the committee? Hearing none, then all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carried.
Thank you.
Thank you, Bill. And then item 15 is consideration of an ordinance amending Chapter 13 of the Village Code to prohibit the transfer or sale of Delta 8. Here we go. Yeah, you all, yeah. Look at you laughing. Yeah. THC. Okay, thank you.
Make the motion.
Oh,
Second.
we let you off easy.
Yeah, good save there. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Anyways, Delta 8 is a psychoactive substance found in the cannabis sativa plant. Two derivatives from there, of course, is hemp and marijuana. So Delta 8, it has intoxicating effects similar to the component responsible for the high people get from smoking marijuana. So the Delta 8 itself, the products have not been evaluated or approved by the FDA for sale or for use in products, and there is no pharmaceutical regulation at all for Delta 8. So we have, there's been a growing concern nationwide about the products containing Delta 8 that are being sold in stores as well as online, of course, and manufacturers are packaging these products in ways that appeal to children. So you could buy them in gummies, you could buy them in cookies, chocolate chips, so on and so forth. And they're also placing them in conspicuous places so that, you know, kids and young adults will see it and grab it and purchase it. It comes in small quantities in the product, so a lot of times there won't be enough quantity in the product for criminal prosecution, but just determining that it is in the product, we'd be able to prosecute that through village ordinance. So the ordinance would make it unlawful for anyone, including licensed businesses, to sell, offer for sale, or give away any products containing Delta 8. The fine would not be less than $1,000 nor more than $5,000. And the penalty provided, of course, the same as the last ordinance, would be separate from any hearing for suspension, revocation of the business license.
Very good. Questions from the committee? Hearing none, then all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carried.
Thank
Thanks,
you very
Bill.
much.
Item 15 is, or I'm sorry, item 16 is audience participation. We have none. Item 17 is executive session. We do not need one. 18 is other business at discretion of chairman. I have none.
Motion to adjourn.
Motion is second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? We are adjourned.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'd like to call the regular village board meeting for Monday, April 17th to order. Would the clerk please call the roll?
Trustees Del Rosario,
Here.
Hundley,
Here.
Trustee Klusny is not here this evening. Lynch,
Here.
Trustee Nasty,
Here.
and O'Brien is not here this evening. And Mayor Veenstra.
Here. Would everyone please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. If you'd please remain standing for the invocation. This evening it's going to be given by Nancy Crescenzo of Aglow International.
Thank you, Mary Vince, for this opportunity again to ask God's blessing on this meeting tonight. Lord, we thank you for all the blessings that we have in this village of Addison, and we know it's called the Addison Advantage. We thank you, Lord, for our village board, our mayor, our clerk, our trustees, our village manager, lawyer, and all the departments represented here tonight, and the audience here tonight, and those that are viewing on our Addison Community TV and other media. We ask your continued blessings, Lord, upon those who serve and those who are working with them throughout the village. Our village is a prototype by your blessing, Lord, and it's done with a spirit of excellence and giving. We ask your protection, Lord, over all those that are serving with your wisdom, favor, and good health. And also, Lord, upon our schools, your protection over the police, the fire department, the first responders, and paramedics. And Lord, we thank you for all the people who come here to work and to shop and visit. And just an added thing, this year we know again that we're blessed to have all the bowlers. We're the largest bowling lanes in the state of Illinois, and we have many visiting throughout the month of April. And tonight, Lord, we ask your blessings in particular on one of our trustees, William Lynch, and his family who have been there to support him through all his years of serving, beginning in 2002. And we thank you for his outstanding service, his dedication, his commitment to this board, and the good he has brought to this village. As his decision to retire has come about, we all ask you to bless him in all ways, to chart his path ahead with much enjoyment, and may he know much gratification in a job well done. And we thank you, Lord, for this. And Lord, we ask and thank you again for our village of Addison, and that you would bless all the people who live here and visit, and may your peace rest upon this community. In the name of the Father, the Son, and Holy Spirit. Amen.
Thank you, Nancy. Item 4 is the approval of the minutes of the April 3rd regular village board meeting. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Motion and a second. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
The minutes stand approved. Item 5, proclamations, appointments, and presentations. We do have a proclamation declaring April 28th Arbor Day in the Village of Addison.
This is a proclamation declaring April 28th, 2023 Arbor Day in the Village of Addison. Whereas in 1872, J. Sterling Morton proposed to the Nebraska Board of Agriculture that a special day be set aside for the planting of trees. And whereas this holiday, called Arbor Day, was first observed with the planting of more than 1 million trees in Nebraska. And whereas Arbor Day is now observed throughout the nation and the world. And whereas trees can reduce the erosion of our precious topsoil by wind and water, cut heating and cooling costs, moderate the temperature, clean the air, produce oxygen, and provide habitat for wildlife. And whereas trees are a renewable resource, giving us paper, wood for our homes, fuel for our fires, and countless other wood products. And whereas trees in our village increase property values, enhance the economic vitality of business areas, and beautify our community. And whereas trees, wherever they are planted, are a source of joy and spiritual renewal. And whereas the Village of Addison has been recognized as Tree City USA by the National Arbor Foundation and desires to continue its tree planting practices. Now therefore, Rich Veenstra, Mayor, does hereby proclaim April 28, 2023 to be Arbor Day in the Village of Addison, and urges all citizens to support all efforts to protect our trees and natural woodlands and to support our village's forestry program, and further to plant trees to enhance our environment and preserve the well-being of our present and future generations.
Rick, if you'd please accept this on behalf of the Forestry Department and give them our congratulations for a great job. And, they've been very busy this year already. And
Yes, starting out with, of course, a very serious storm, so yes, they do work very hard. I will make sure that this goes to our forestry department and all the arborists that work therein.
great. Thank you very much. Item 6 is audience input regarding agenda items before the board. Item 7 is our consent agenda. 7A is approval of accounts payable. Microphone, please.
Can you hear me now? There we go. 23-72 in the amount of $1,426,813.04. Directive 23-72 in the amount of $175,188.57. And Directive 23-74 in the amount of $785,263.86. We also have one correction. Directive 23-62 was approved on February 21st, 23, in the amount of $840,544.88, and will now be reduced by $2,222, making a new total $838,344.66.
Thank you. 7B is approval of the fiscal year 2023-2024 budget for the Village of Addison. 7C is approval of payment number 5 to Hitchcock Design Incorporated of Naperville for the final design and engineering of Phase 5 of the Village Green Improvement Project, Veterans Monument, in the amount of $34,952.41. 7D, approval of bid number 23-2-3 for various vendors to supply fire hydrants, miscellaneous parts, and water distribution materials in a not-to-exceed amount of $55,700. 7E is the approval to purchase a Ford F-550 cab and chassis, dump body, and plowing components from Henderson Products of Huntley, Illinois, in the amount of $114,180. 7F is approval of payment number 10 to Core and Main LP of St. Louis, Missouri, for the water meter and AMI project in the amount of $321,495.57. Is there a motion to approve the consent agenda?
So move.
Second.
Motion and a second. Discussion. Roll call, please.
Trustees Del Rosario,
Yes.
Hundley,
Yes.
Lynch,
Yes.
Nasty,
Yes.
The consent agenda is approved. Item 8, ordinances and resolutions. 8A is the second reading of an ordinance approving a plat of re-subdivision for 275 North Haddon Place and 1127 West Compton Point.
At their meeting on April 3rd, the committee reviewed this ordinance, which approves a plat of re-subdivision for 275 North Hayden Place and 1127 West Compton Point. The committee recommended approval, and first reading was given at the April 3rd Village Board meeting. Second reading is requested.
This is second reading of an ordinance approving a plat of re-subdivision for 275 North Haddon Place and 1127 West Compton Point.
Motion to approve the ordinance.
Second?
Motion and second to approve the ordinance. Discussion. Roll call.
Del Rosario,
Yes.
Hundley,
Yes.
Lynch,
Yes.
Nasty,
Yes.
The ordinance is approved. 8B is the second reading of an ordinance approving a pre-annexation agreement for 4N380 Maple Street.
At their meeting on April 3rd, committee reviewed this ordinance, which approves a pre-annexation agreement for 4 North 380 Maple Street. The committee recommended approval, and first reading was given at the April 3rd Village Board meeting. Second reading is requested.
This is second reading of an ordinance approving a pre-annexation agreement for 4 North 380 Maple Street.
Motion to approve the ordinance?
Second.
Motion is second to approve. Discussion? Roll call.
Trustees Del Rosario,
Yes.
Hundley,
Yes.
Lynch,
Yes.
Nasty,
Yes.
and Mayor Veenstra.
Yes, the ordinance is approved. 8C is the second reading of an ordinance annexing certain territory to the village for 4N 380 Maple Street.
At their meeting on April 3rd, the committee reviewed this ordinance, which annexed certain territory to the village for 4 North 380 Maple Street. The committee recommended approval, and the first reading was given at the April 3rd village board meeting. Second reading is requested.
This is second reading of an ordinance annexing certain territory to the village for 4 North 380 Maple Street.
Motion to approve the ordinance?
Second.
Motion is second to approve. Discussion? Roll call.
Trustees Del Rosario,
Yes.
Hundley,
Yes.
Lynch,
Yes.
Nasty,
Yes.
and Mayor Veenstra.
Yes, the ordinance is approved. 8D is second reading of an ordinance approving a plat of re-subdivision for 4N 380 Maple Street.
At their meeting on April 3rd, the committee reviewed this ordinance, which approves a plat of re-subdivision for 4N 380 Maple Street. The committee recommended approval, and first reading was given at the April 3rd village board meeting. Second reading is requested.
This is second reading of an ordinance approving a plat of re-subdivision for 4 North 380 Maple Street.
Motion to approve the ordinance?
Second.
Motion and second. Discussion? Roll call, please.
Trustees Del Rosario,
Yes.
Hundley,
Yes.
Lynch,
Yes.
and Nasty.
Yes.
The ordinance is approved. 8E is the second reading of an ordinance amending certain provisions of Chapter 13 of the Village Code regarding loud noises.
At their meeting on April 3rd, the committee reviewed this ordinance, which amends certain provisions of Chapter 13 of the Village Code regarding loud noises. The committee recommended approval, and first reading was given at the April 3rd village board meeting. Second read is requested.
This is second reading of an ordinance amending certain provisions of Chapter 13 of the Village Code regarding loud noises.
Motion to approve the ordinance?
Second.
Motion and second to approve. Discussion? Roll call.
Trustees Del Rosario,
Yes.
Hundley,
Yes.
Lynch,
Yes.
and Nasty.
Yes.
The ordinance is approved. 8F is first reading of an ordinance amending Chapter 3 of the Village Code to decrease the number of Class DD1 liquor licenses for RE Plan LLC doing business as Bailey's Place, located at 1700 West Lake Street.
At their meeting earlier this evening, the committee reviewed this ordinance, which amends Chapter 3 of the Village Code to decrease the number of Class DD1 liquor licenses for RE Plan LLC doing business as Bailey's Place, located at 1700 West Lake Street. The committee recommended approval, and waiver of second reading has been requested by staff. The attorney is asked to read the ordinance.
This is first reading of an ordinance amending Chapter 3 of the Village Code to decrease the number of Class DD1 liquor licenses for RE Plan LLC doing business as Bailey's Place, located at 1700 West Lake Street.
Motion to waive second reading?
Second.
Motion and second to waive second reading. Roll call.
Trustees Del Rosario,
Yes.
Hundley,
Yes.
Lynch,
Yes.
and Nasty.
Yes.
Motion to approve the ordinance?
Second.
Motion and second to approve the ordinance. Discussion? Roll call.
Trustees Del Rosario,
Yes.
Hundley,
Yes.
Lynch,
Yes.
Nasty.
Yes.
The ordinance is approved. 8G is the first reading of an ordinance amending certain provisions of Chapter 13 of the Village Code regarding suspension and revocation of licenses and fines against licensees.
At their meeting earlier this evening, the committee reviewed this ordinance, which amends certain provisions of Chapter 13 of the Village Code regarding suspension and revocation of license and fines against licensees. The committee recommended approval, and first reading is requested.
This is first reading of an ordinance amending certain provisions of Chapter 13 of the Village Code regarding suspensions and revocation of licenses and fines against licensees.
First reading only.
First reading. Item 8H is first reading of an ordinance amending Chapter 13 of the Village Code to prohibit the transfer or sale of Delta 8 THC.
At their meeting I was waiting for you to say it, then I'd have to say it. Yeah,
Tetrahydrocannabinol.
yeah, thanks. Yeah, appreciate that. At their meeting earlier this evening, the committee reviewed this ordinance, which amends Chapter 13 of the Village Code to prohibit the transfer or sale of Delta-8 THC. The committee recommended approval and first reading is requested.
This is first reading of an ordinance amending Chapter 13 of the Village Code to prohibit the transfer or sale of Delta-8 THC.
First reading only.
First reading. 8I is the first reading of an ordinance amending certain provisions of Chapter 27 of the Village Code regarding signs.
At their meeting earlier this evening, the committee reviewed this ordinance, which amends certain provisions of Chapter 27 of the Village Code regarding signs. The committee recommended approval, and first reading is requested.
This is first reading of an ordinance amending certain provisions of Chapter 27 of the Village Code regarding signs.
First reading only.
First reading. 8J is the consideration of a resolution approving an amended intergovernmental agreement between the Village of Addison and the Addison Fire Protection District for fleet maintenance services.
At our meeting earlier this evening, the committee reviewed this resolution, which approves an amended intergovernmental agreement between the Village of Addison and the Addison Fire Protection District for fleet maintenance services. The committee recommended approval, and the attorney is asked to read the resolution.
This is consideration of a resolution approving an amended intergovernmental agreement between the Village of Addison and the Addison Fire Protection District for fleet maintenance services.
Motion.
Second.
Motion is second to approve the resolution. Discussion. Roll call.
Trustees Del Rosario,
Yes.
Hundley,
Yes.
Lynch,
Yes.
Nasty.
Yes.
The resolution is approved. 8K is consideration of a resolution approving an AIA agreement between the Village of Addison and Keeley Construction Incorporated for construction management services for the renovation and configuration of the interiors of the Community Development Department suite.
At our meeting earlier this evening, the committee reviewed this resolution, which approves the AIA agreement between the Village of Addison and Keeley Construction, Inc. for construction management services for the renovation and configuration of interiors of Community Development Department suite. The committee recommended approval, and the attorney is asked to read the resolution.
This is consideration of a resolution approving the AIA agreement between the Village of Addison and Keeley Construction, Inc. for construction management services for the renovation and configuration of the interiors of the Community Development Department suite.
Motion.
Second.
Motion is second to approve the resolution. Discussion. Roll call.
Trustees Del Rosario,
Yes.
Hundley,
Yes.
Lynch,
Yes.
Nasty.
Yes.
The resolution stands approved. Item number 9 is the mayor's report, and this one is kind of bittersweet. As you probably know by now, Trustee Lynch has decided to hang up his gavel and take a well-deserved vacation and retirement. And Bill, I would like our attorney to read a proclamation. You've got.
This is a proclamation recognizing Trustee Bill Lynch for dedicated service to the Village of Addison. Whereas Bill Lynch was appointed as a Village of Addison trustee to fill a vacated term in 2002 and was elected in 2003 and re-elected in 2007, 2011, 2015, and 2019. And whereas in his role as trustee, he served as chair of the Building, Zoning, and Development Committee and the Public Health, Safety, and Judicial Committee, as well as a liaison to the Citizens Advisory Commission. And whereas prior to joining the Board of Trustees, Bill Lynch served for 12 years on the Village of Addison Plan Commission. And whereas he and his wife Adele have lived in Addison since 1969, and whereas Bill Lynch has a pragmatic and common sense approach in dealing with issues, programs, and development while being focused on the needs of the community, and whereas his loyalty and support of the Village of Addison, along with his dedication to serving the community, truly exemplify the Addison advantage. Now, therefore, Mayor Rich Veenstra and the elected officials and staff of the Village of Addison do hereby acknowledge the following. Trustee Bill Lynch is recognized for his service to the community, his commitment to advancing the Addison advantage, his many professional skills, and his contribution of time and talent far exceeding the requirements of his role as village trustee. The members of the village board, along with all the village staff, on behalf of the Village Addison, sincerely thank Bill Lynch for his years of dedicated service and wish him health, happiness, and success in all his future endeavors.
you know, Bill, 33 years of service is remarkable. And, you know, you've done it with grace, you've done it with integrity, and you've been a mentor to a lot of people that have come and gone over the years. And we really want to thank you, and you're going to be missed big time, because we're going to be here all night because nobody's going to move to adjourn. So,
I'll
Tom,
give that job to Jay.
As Bill knows and Adele knows, this is hard for me. You know, we've been together for 22 years. You're my family. You're like a father to me, Adele. Well, Adele actually pointed it out because, you know, she figured it out that thankfully I'm young enough that I could be your son, but you know, we've sat next to each other for 22 years, and, you know, I've kidded you the last couple of years to rethink it, and I know how it's hard on both of us, but at the same time, it's the right move for both you and Adele, and, you know, people really don't understand that we've been together, all of us have been together a long time. It's become like a family. You've watched my kids grow.
Absolutely.
You've been through my bad and good times with all of us, but, you know, we all love you, and we're going to miss you, and it's not going to be the same without you, but, you know, you can come join us every other Monday if you want, but probably not.
We can go out for a beer.
We can go out for a beer, but thank you.
Thank you.
you want to say something?
Thank you. Appreciate it. I've worked with a great team here, and even prior trustees like Don Lepedo, Sylvia Lane, and Harry Theodore, Joe McDermott. But what makes this great is we've got an outstanding staff, too. Since some of you are more recent and others have retired and gone on and done their thing. But my turn. Appreciate it, all of you.
Bill, again,
Thank
congratulations.
you.
To make the motion to adjourn.
All right, that moves us on to item number 10, Officer's Report, Village Attorney.
I just want to add my 2 cents to say thank you, Bill, for everything. It truly has been an honor and a privilege working with you all these years. You know, fortunately or unfortunately, I've been around for a long time too, and I've worked with you for many years, and it really has been wonderful working with you. And I know I'm going to miss you personally. The board's going to miss you, and staff's going to miss you. Thank you for all your time. I really appreciate it.
Thank you, Dave.
Okay, and Village Manager.
I too must say something to you, Trustee Bill Lynch. Thank you for your leadership. I think leadership can be defined in one word, and that's influence. And I know I speak for the entire staff here. Your influence on us has been huge, setting policy, dealing with all of us, dealing for our asks and our wants. Selfishly, you gave me my first opportunity in this position, and my family and I are grateful to you for that. I see a lot of your family is in the audience today, grandkids, sons, Adele. Thank you to all of you for giving us such an incredible man. So tonight's your night too. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Bill.
Thanks, Joe.
And Village Clerk.
Thank you for being the quiet voice of reason. It just made a difference when you were there. You sat, you listened, and didn't have anything to say until you really had something to say. We'd better pay attention because it meant something. So thank you, Adele, and the family for sharing him with us. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right, that brings us to item 11, Commission and Board Reports.
I'd just like to say to Mr. Lynch, thank you very much for the short time that I have known you. Thank you for welcoming with open arms to me and my family, and congratulations and enjoy your retirement.
Thanks, Jay.
Bill, I've worked with you less than 10 years, but it feels like I've worked with you for a lifetime. It's been some pleasure and my privilege to work with you and serve the community on this board with you. Your handshake and your smiles are tremendous. And thank you for all your intuition and all your inspiration on making me a good trustee as well. Thank you.
Thanks, Sam.
All right, item 12 is executive session. We do not need one this evening. Item 13 is audience participation. I don't believe we have any, except I will invite all of you to join us for a reception following the meeting. And
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
motion is second. All those in favor? We are adjourned.